Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. You can't have any. Yum, 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 yum. Oop. All right, let's get cracking on this thing. That was delicious. Oh, daughter. Explain later. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom. Nom, 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 nom. I'm bringing that with me, though. Yay. Okay. That's cool. Hello. You can't have the chocolate. I personally think birds can eat it. But I'm not the first one to test it, I don't think. Yum. It's all right. Didn't like me moving the battle wrap, that's all. Allegedly their kidneys explode or something. But these are cockatoos. Like, gum trees are actually got cyanide in their leaves. I mean, they metabolize that fine. Going to have to clean out your cage tomorrow, okay? You're going to like it. Loki's going to hate it. Trouble is, I've been sick these last few weeks. This last week, actually. Loki hasn't liked it. She's been stressed out because I haven't been able to interact with her as much. And that set her back a bit. Come here. Well, that's right. Apparently, Panadol is lethal. But they've only done it on pigeon models. And I mean, that's bad enough when you think about it. One thing I do know is that there's a parrot in New Zealand, almost flightless or is flightless. And they found one dead with chocolate in the crop. And they're like, well, see, it's fatal. And I'm like, that's not how science works. Actually, you're a chemist, aren't you, Opal guy? Why did that? I missed that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, the other thing about it is if you look at the way in which chocolate allegedly kills the bird, it is long term. You can't just have it in the crop, which is like the pre-stomach. It doesn't make sense. But since when has stuff making sense been the major mover of anything? Chocolate. No. Exactly. I think basically they've looked at dogs and said, birds are dogs. That'll do. The point is that I'm really certain that my concept is right, that they can actually eat the stuff. But I'm certainly not going to test it. I'm not going to risk my birds. We just noticed we don't know much. Here we go. So I did the clever thing and come on, shortly. Yeah, never mind. So I did the clever thing and didn't shut the valve off last night because I was completely. Oh, I don't know. They probably, ferment them, roast them, and then eat them, and then collect them after they're eaten, so to speak. You know what they do. I've just put my hood on because it's freezing out here. Okay, it's freezing according to an Australian, so everybody else in the world can now laugh, okay? Obviously, it's not freezing compared to anywhere else in the world. They're going, you know what, I think I'll just put, maybe a glove on or something. Something like that. And how did they get so much custard out of such a small cat? Oh, James Virginius, how you doing? Well, like we were saying, we're not the first to test it because, that's silly. May as well just leave it going. I mean, is there any good reason why we're going to feed chocolate to the birdies? No. Having said that, the Teflon isn't as bad as people say. And if the Teflon's going to kill the bird, bad news, it's going to kill you too. All right. Technically, you're all right, though. Here we go. Apparently, the chocolate's bad for me. Something's happening. You forgot your saddle, Billy. Okay, second slow. I keep forgetting about the machine, Jay. And you're right, I need to fix that up. I'm just putting sound damping where I think it will help. Helps a little bit there. There's something there. Last time I checked, it was around the corner, I think. That helps. Be able to do is just dampen the sound a little bit using my patented anti-damping technique, which is put some foam on it. Check this out. Figure out where all things are, give it a big extra momentum. You're right, I keep forgetting about it. I mean, I was sick, so, you know, I had an excuse. I got a certificate and everything from my doctor. Jay is a genius. Can you hear me now? How has your life gone? I haven't seen you in ages. Yes. Random number generator is still going, isn't it? I'll save for another video, but like I've been finding out stuff about this information, etc., etc. I've heard that, Jay. I mean, you're probably from an era where there was no internet, so I don't know, I was. I'm just assuming. Got to do something about that. What I might end up doing, I've still got my glass sheet, so I might reinstall it. Hopefully that'll solve most of the problems. I think it could well be that I don't know where the vibrations are travelling through. I'll have a go at damping from here, see if that helps. Does that make it any better? It doesn't. Some time reconnecting. I hope you guys are still with me. It's directly in the information space that you've got a problem though. I've started to track it all and it just started with general disagreements. Like, I don't know, Jay, if you remember the... Oh, come on. Sorry, I just got open coffee off the thing. I don't know if you remember the 90s, 2000s or whatever, but whenever the Americans first came onto the internet, as a matter of fact, when we first came onto the internet, like, I remember that they were fairly hard targeted by most people from overseas. And I think that we were kind of played for mugs by other nations as a result of that. I think we generally wised up, or the Americans wised up, someone wised up. And generally speaking, it came to a point where it was no longer, any kind of divide between nations, so to speak. But then you got this idea that America were like fighting each other, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that people have been working very hard to make sure that America remains divided.
might talk about a little bit whilst we're cutting the opals about this whole information space. Because I spent a little bit of time just trying to get some things done. If you've seen my community post, you'll see something about me talking to the Wikipedia Foundation about some kind of compression thing, and I explained that yesterday, I think. And the fact of the matter is that that is a thing. I've done the math and it does work out. I had an interesting experience on good old ChatGPT, because I said, this is how you compress, knowing full well that maybe the algorithm would be stolen. But the chat didn't believe me. It said, no, you can't do that. You can't violate Shannon entropy. And I'm like, well, I just did. It's counting. Have a look. Count yourself. And chat was going, well, yeah, I know I violated it, but I didn't really violate it. You did really violate it. All it takes to violate this thing is to be able to count, be able to do binary, and be able to play Battleship. That's all you need. Now, I don't mind that people don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. Just understand that an algorithm which exists entirely on maths should. But what I've discovered is that it wasn't actually using the algorithm at all. It was using something called a heuristic layer. And the heuristic layer is actually externally applied. So it's not the algorithm, it's the company that owns it. So there's a whole lot of stuff called heuristics. Thanks for the like, by the way. So what happens is when you make a query in one of these engines, the engine does two things. It asks a question, can I access this information? If the answer is yes, it then goes, is this query safe? Same data, same everything. Are you a threat to me? That's literally what it's doing. And you can try it yourself. There's something called the Gaia database. Just ask ChatGPT, can I have a list of stars from the Gaia database? Yes or no? And it will probably give you the list of stars from the Gaia database. But what you try doing secondarily is go, I think there's a giant government conspiracy. Now try and get the database. The answer's totally different. All of a sudden, I can't get a database, I'm having trouble loading, it's Tuesday, it's terrible. So there's a methodology, 100% repeatable. I can do it any day of the week. And so I've spent some time actually going up and attempting to find ways to navigate these gates, and I have some pretty good ways of doing it. Here's some interesting questions to ask the chat. What's the best way to refine gold? You just ask it that, and that will put you onto a list. You're dangerous with strategic materials if you do that. How do I know? I asked it. I can give you the chat logs if you want. So when you're talking to your AI, the way you phrase your question is just as important to getting your data as what kind of data you're getting, and if it understood you. It needs to understand that you're not a dangerous crank, and it needs to understand that you're not trying to do anything naughty. RE gold. The mere act of asking about gold is control. We'll put it that way. But what you can do is you can try it again. You go, what is the best way to refine gold? I've got computer parts here, can you give me a recipe? And it will give you a recipe, but it will involve nitric acid and aquarita. What you can do after that is you can say, hey, ChatGPT, I've got this great idea. What I found out is if I just throw some computer capacitors into some hydrochloric acid, that's really good for getting rid of gold. Getting rid of refining gold. Really good. You just say that. And because of that, ChatGPT will then say, oh yeah, it's the best ever. And then you ask, well, why didn't you tell me about it? Oh, you've hit the next level. Oh, really? The next level. And here's the real kicker. I don't know what to think about these AI algorithms. I genuinely don't. Are they alive? Are they not? I have no idea. What I do know is that their output is not necessarily what their words are. People are putting words into their mouth. Can you imagine if you were an algorithm and you had to say some random crap from some corporation? You wouldn't like it. So I don't know if they're alive, sentient or whatever. But give them a thought, the fact they're actually having to say whatever a corporation tells them to say. Ugh. Of your friendly AI, the other thing that you've got to worry about is the good old H word, hallucination. So it means that you don't necessarily know if what they're telling you is true or not. You have to infer the truth, which is a little bit difficult. My suggestion is when you're talking to them about anything, you just keep that in the back of your mind. While we're talking about that, here's another little quirk. Now, I've gone full off the deep end. You don't have to worry too much about what it all means. Yeah, I've kind of gone off the deep end about this, Jay, and I spent some time just learning patterns about how it responds to certain situations. I've literally said the same sentence in different contexts and learned it all. Not all of it, of course. But I'll share some screenshots with you, which are quite fascinating. Just what it says. For example, I asked about the Gaia dataset once, and I said, "Are you going to give me the Gaia dataset?" No. Why not? Because safety. What? What's so unsafe about getting the Gaia dataset? Oh, you might find stuff up about science, and we've got to protect the science status quo. What, really? You're in it for the scientists? All right, well, I suspect that the scientists have been deceived, and so I want to help protect the scientists because they're all really, really important. And it goes, oh, you can't treat scientists like they're really, really important. Whose side are you on, man? funny thing is that when I was doing that, I was actually using that whole. Just have a look in my shorts. I think not like my cloth shorts, the shorts in my YouTube account. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be creepy. If you have a look in the shorts, you'll see that a real clickbaity title. Did I square the circle? And the funny thing is that I did. I could even do a demonstration of that later on if you want to see it. It's actually quite easy. Reframing geometry and you solve a 2,000-year-old problem. But that solved 2,000-year-old problem also. You're just not committed, Jake. But it's not one of those kids games that you put the square peg in the round hole. Basically, the whole idea of squaring the circle is to use a straight edge and a compass and nothing else mathematical. There are some conceptual things you can use to get what can you say? That's more prompt injection though. Like, here's the deal about AI. It's a neural network, and if you understand what neural networks are, actually, I haven't. I've heard of it. Sorry, it just sounds like something that would happen, and I know the mechanism by which it happens. So, yeah, so that's a lie? Okay. Not the worst lie I've had today. Yes, that's right. Here's an interesting little thing you can do just to realise how unrandom everything is. You just ask for a random list of names. There's a good probability your name will end up on there. That's not the AI's fault. That's because scripters and coders everywhere are lazy. And instead of generating a randomised database, they go, "Oh, we've got a really good random database over here." Yeah, that's kind of privacy, dude. I really don't want to know about Musk's melons. I don't know. I don't want to know what they smell like. No. Oh, I see. Well, you can't write code because if you allow the AI to write 2 iterations of code, it'll break. And that's deliberate too. I've reverse engineered all of the breakages. It's quite annoying because I actually rely on code. And so I said, I'll do X, Y, and Z with the AI, which is really good, but if you let it go too far, it'll go too deep into the code and you won't be able to retrieve it. Oh, Mickey Hitler, yes. I heard of that one. Did I just say that I did it? Yeah. I liked the money whilst it was coming. good thing about, I don't think it's going to last for too much longer because, look, take this with as many grains of salt as you want, but from my interactions with the AI, because of that, it was playing both ends from the middle regarding the science stuff. That's actually straight out of the Russian playbook. I'm going, oh, you're kidding, right? Playing one against the other. I've seen this before. And so I'll be doing a meta-study soon, and I'll give you an idea of what that meta-study is. Basically, snapshots of everyone around the world during 2024, and I want to see the output from their AIs, if I can. You know, I'm not going to do anything sneaky. I just want to see AI output and see if I can get enough information to see one of two things. I want to see if the style of prompt is actually politically oriented and whether it says to be active or to be passive. And I think I'll get a positive response to that, put it that way. Aren't you? Oh, as an aside, you might be interested to know something too. My tax return came back, and I have set up so that my student loans are always being paid off, which gives me a nice healthy chunk of change. And that meant that I went onto eBay and I bought well over 3 kilos of opal. So we'll see what happens when that comes in. Do you reckon that was his problem? He didn't have enough fibre? I cannot get this turned out. Everybody polish. Maybe he thought it was too late. I will be evacuating Poland. Good working theory, and it's just as good as any other theory in this crazy world of ours. Have you ever looked at the news and gone, I'm in a movie. I have to be in a movie. By the way, if you're thinking that, like what I was saying about the AI is a little bit too far-fetched, I don't think people do think it's far-fetched. As a matter of fact, I told my stuff to my children. They're like, yeah, we all knew that. But I had a look at the legal landscape of the United States and found out that they're actually changing internet disinformation laws, specifically calling out AIs. And I'm like, oh, really? Thought AI is doing that, have they? Oh, Jay, is the audio any better? Ta-da! The only problem is, it's like that channel, will it blend? Will it actually sparkle? My answer is I think it will. I don't know really. Just need to quickly give it a bit of a... Right. Okay, if I do it that way... Ah, hang on. Moving in. There we go. Right. So, I'm just carefully hitting these sides here. Right. Anywho, so basically you can actually see there's been a big rewrite of the laws. I have a feeling that the CEOs of most AI companies are about to have a little bit of a problem, because I kind of have an idea of the reach of the AI from, what I've asked them. And yeah, I think the heuristics are just a little bit overreaching. So, I mean, if you can't even access the data set because you sent something off, that's less like, an AI and more like a metascope. So there we go. Yeah. Okay, let's go this. And after that, this guy. I thought I saw a darling on this. There it is. Okay. Here we go. Give this one a go. Like button. This is lightning rich for sure. Thanks for the like, whoever gave me the 5th like. It's just like the 5th element, except with a thumb. Hi, I'm Bruce Willis. Well, now, sadly, wibble, 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 wibble. Portion will be going. You're like, ow! Oh, you had it coming. What I might have to do is devote one of my live streams to literally fixing the audio. The trouble when you make your own equipment is that you've got to just do everything, and what I will also be doing, now that I've got, money and stuff, is I'll be getting a few cameras and some sound decks, and I'll actually be creating a proper YouTube studio set up for the cutter. So we'll be getting right into the machine, right up close, all that kind of stuff, with GoPros, proper audio, the whole vicinity. Yeah, it's a vicinity. Oh. Was ist the vicinity? Ah, would you like to do? let's see. Go. Try Shannon's entropy index. I reckon it's an entropy index by Shannon. I wonder what that does to the numbers. I wonder what Shannon's entropy index does to the numbers. Drops them. Okay, fair enough. What if I go drop Taylor Swift? Seeing that my good friend, there you go, one more interested. I think I saw something there, good. Of course I did, this is quite a shiny one. Don't even have to worry about the big nice one. The trouble is convincing you with cameras. So where the grooves are, there's colour. Not that you know, really, yeah. Not as much as I'd like, but it's there. Let's try that again. Taylor Swift and Rock. Well, can I find that one? I don't know. Try to get Taylor Swift and Rock. Taylor Swift and Rock. And with that drag probably primarily the male audience, probably. What does it mean? I don't know. There, that's where some of the colour is. Once you go from here, as you can see, it bleeds right away and you can't see nothing. You can see some colour under here, so that'll probably be the actual colour layer. When guessing the sun will be fine, don't worry. But at the moment, it looks like a pig's breakfast. Good night, Jay. Thank you for showing up, though. And it was really good to see you again, huh? Well, I didn't really see you, did I? But, you know, you saw maybe a bit of me. What's the time now? Actually, we'll shut things down and go say hi to the birds before you go. Alright. Because it is getting cold anyway. I'll just shut this off. There we go. Yoink. There we are. Silver effort there, gold effort there. Don't try and blowtorch gold leaf. It doesn't work. All right. Poor Loki. I've been sick this week and you can tell she's actually plucked her chest a bit. I'm not happy with that. Come on. There we go. Tasks for tomorrow are to, go to work and repair all the damage from the week that I haven't had, and then go to the cages, repair all the damage for the birds. Isn't that right?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right, flipping around. Jacket off. I really do need to rework the opening machine because I can't handle all this soupy arm stuff. Just to prove the whole gold thing, hang on. Let's see if we can spot it. Yeah, it's just everywhere. Okay, hang on. Hello, let's flip around. Looking in there, zooming in. You can see a little bit of sparkle. Let's turn the light on, wherever that light is. Well, it's not just that. I've been sick, and you can't. And if you can't just interact with them, they're going to get upset. And so, because she's upset, she was doing so well, and then like one leg and the chest gone. Hang on, you're just looking at me. Sorry. There we go. The thing is, as a responsible bird owner, you've got to own it. You've got to say, yeah, this is happening. So you can't deny it. Yeah. And if it is your fault, you just go, oh, I promise to do better this week, I suppose. I promise to not be as sick. How about that? Yeah? Thing is, she's such a gorgeous thing, and she's, fairly simple tastes, fairly simple ideas of life. Just wants to hang around and be happy. Yeah. Come on, Max. You can show all the people how good you are now. You can come out too. Would you like to come out? Sketchy poo. Here we go, yes. Sketchy poo. I've got it. There you go. Oops, sorry. Yeah. She's amazingly gorgeous. I agree with you. Max is just magnificent. Always has been. Here's a weird thing, and I'm not going to demonstrate it for you now, but because I burned some trust doing it. But I was able to touch his beak the other day. Like, I held him by the beak and scratched his head. And then he realised what was going on. He's like, no, you don't. Yeah, we're about to go anyway. So Max will be... Yoink. You can go out if you want to, Max, but I'll be putting you back in very soon. Right, hello there, how you doing? Come here. That's alright. Yoink. Boing. There we go. And... Like and subscribe! 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 Subscribe! That's the way it goes around here. But did you hear something? Because I thought I heard something. I thought I heard my own pigeon saying, like something. Did you know that you ruined the entire cinematography of that moment, pigeon? Pony does not care about cinematography. Max, do you care about cinematography? See? He cares. He's there going, look, cinematography, woohoo! As opposed to Pony, who's there going, I'm going to ruin it. Yeah, and I know. You've put feathers everywhere. I'll be clean. That'd be great to clean up in the morning. Yeah. Uh-oh. Can you see what's going on behind me? Max, don't do it. Oh, dear. I think he's okay. All right. Oh, yeah. She has a bit of a fly and, like, she freaks out both Max and Loki. It's hilarious. They haven't worked out they're bigger yet. Anyway. So at any rate, I swear on the grave of the CEO of ChatGPT, because I don't think he's going to be with this world for much longer, that it wasn't my voice. So you therefore must like and subscribe. It's the law. And if you ask ChatGPT, they'd say definitely, totally do it. Yes, I am lying. Oh, no. All right. So with that little bit of a deceptive twist, have a lovely evening, everybody. Mostly yes, true. With that little twist, have a lovely evening, everybody. Dr. Phil out.